And we should be able to be seen and heard this time. Seen and heard. Seen and heard. Check 1, 2, mic check, 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 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. We just want to be seen and heard. Seen and heard. Mic check, 1, 2. Just want to make sure. Volume should be good now. Volume should be good. Can we hear? You can't hear on your end? Should be. Check. Microphone check. We can hear you. Okay, they say they can hear me. Let me get a second witness. A second witness about the hearing. The second witness that y'all can see and hear us pretty good. Check, 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 check. 1, 2. Second witness. Good on sound and sight. Yes, sir. All right. So we good to go. Let's go ahead and get ready to get started. We're gonna start off and read some scriptures. I'm gonna start off in the book of Psalms. I want some brothers to get a scripture, and then we're gonna go ahead and move forward with the overall service. I turned on Psalms 37, so I'm gonna read some of that. That's a long psalm, so I ain't gonna read all of it. But that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, Psalms 37 says, "Do not fret because of evildoers. Do not be envious of the workers of lawlessness, for soon they shall wither as the grass and fade like the green plant. Trust in Yahuwah and do good, and dwell in the land and feed the steadfast. And you shall delight yourself in Yahuwah, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way unto him and trust him, as he does, and he shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your right ruling as midday. Rest in Yahuwah and wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man that doeth wicked devices. Abstain from displeasure, forsake wrath. Do not fret also that those that do evil, for evildoers shall be cut off. And those that wait on Yahuwah, they shall inherit the earth or the rest. Yet a little while, and wrong is no more. You shall look for his place, but it shall not be. But the meek one shall inherit the rest of the earth, and delight themselves in the abundance of peace. Evildoers that plot against the righteous and gnash with his teeth. Y'all shall laugh at him, for he shall see his yawn when his day is coming. The wrong have thrown out their sword, have bent their bow to cause the poor and the needy to fall, and to slay those to be upright conversation. Their swords does not enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. Better is the little than the upright ones than the riches of many evildoers. For the arms of the evildoers shall be broken, but Yahuwah shall sustain the righteous. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right, let's go.
Shalom, family. I'll be coming from Psalms. Psalms 112. And it reads, "Praise ye Yah. Blessed is the man that feareth Yah, that delighteth greatly in his commandments. His seed shall be mighty upon the earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in our house, and our righteousness shall endure forever. Unto the upright there arises light in the darkness. He is gracious and full of compassion and righteous. A good man showeth favor and lending. He will guide his affairs with discretion. Surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteous shall be an everlasting remembrance. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in Yah. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies. He hath dispersed, he hath given to the poor. His righteousness endureth forever. His horn shall be exalted with honor. The wicked shall see it and be grieved. He shall ash with deceit and melt away. The desire of the wicked shall perish. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Shalom, family.
Shalom.
I'll be coming to you guys from Psalms 43. Judge me, O Yahuwah, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. O deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man. For thou art the Elohim of my strength. Why dost thou cast me off? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? O send out thy light and thy truth. Let them lead me. Let them bring me unto thy holy hill and to thy tabernacles. Then will I go unto the altar of Yahuwah, unto Yahuwah my exceeding joy. Yea, upon the harp will I praise thee, O Yahuwah my Elohim. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted within me? Hope in Yahuwah, for I shall yet praise him, who is the help of my countenance and my Elohim.
Shabbat shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. I'll be coming from Psalms 121. I'll lift up my eyes to the hills from which cometh my help. My help coming from the Most High God, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth me will not slumber. He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Most High God guides my feet. The Most High God guides my shade upon my right hand. The sun shall not smite me by day, nor the moon by night. The Most High God guides shall preserve from all evil. The Most High God guides shall preserve thy soul. The Most High God guides shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. So, I will come from Psalms 23. God is my shepherd. I do not lack. He leads me to thy down the green pasture. He leads me beside the still water. He turns my back. He turns my back. He, my being, he leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. When I walk through the valley, the shadow of death, I fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. They're spread before me a table in the presence, in the face of my enemy. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Only goodness and loving kindness follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord till the end of my days.
Hallelujah. Give the Most High a hand clap for brothers coming and reading of the word. Let us stand and face towards the land and pray. Hallelujah. Brothers, after you uncover your head, sisters, after you can cover yours. Hallelujah. Father, we just glorify you. We just thank you for this gathering together. We thank you for coming together on your Shabbat, Father. As that each time that we come together, that you knit our hearts together in love. Let us be able to comprehend the breadth, the length, the depth, and the height of your love that surpasses our knowledge, Father. Let us know the riches of our inheritance that you hid in us, the saints. Let us know the exceeding greatness of your power that working within us that believe, Father. You say you need to slumber or sleep. You watch us, Israel. You're the shade upon our right hand. The sun shall not smite us by day, nor the moon by night. If we dwell in your secret place, we shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. You being our refuge. You being our refuge. Your truth being a shield and a buckler to us, Father. So, Father, we thank you. We ask you, Father, even as our heart is directed towards the land that you said that you will come from the north, the south, the east, and the west to return your people, not because of us, but because of the covenant that you made with our fathers, Father. You spoke that you would return and bring us back, Father God, and give us shalom, Father. Where we will study more no more, Father. That we have everlasting peace shall be flowing to us, that we shall receive the double for our confusion, Father. So we thank you because those things are promises according to your covenant. You said you honor your covenant to 1,000 generations of those that seek your commandments, Father. So we glorify you, God, for those things. And Abba, we ask that even in the midst of this gathering, God, because you said, gather yourselves together, O ye nations that is not divided, and assemble ourselves, Father. So we are obeying your word. We are turning back unto you with our heart, mind, and our soul. So even in this gathering, give us wisdom, give us understanding. Let us understand the times that we live in, Father, that we may consider our sin, consider our faults, Father, that we may not walk in unrighteousness. Because you said those that have this what hope is promised that you've spoken within us shall consistently purify ourselves. So when we see you, we shall be like you. So we glorify you, we honor you, and we thank you. In the name of your son, Yahushua, everybody say hallelujah. 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 And hallelujah. Hallelujah. You can have your seats at this moment. Hallelujah. All right. So real quick, I'm going to throw a review on y'all. A review on y'all. Y'all ready? Yeah. What have we been discussing and talking about? Being what? Being God. Is that big or little? Okay, little G's. And what else? What does it mean? Now this. You have really been paying attention to this. What does it mean when he says that ye are gods? First of all, do we know where we can find that? And what book? Book of Psalms. You know that much. That's good. You'll find it here. Who do we know is another person that echoed that? Messiah. He said, isn't it written where? In your what? In your law that ye are what? Okay. Now, you really had to be paying attention right here. Let me get close to y'all. What does it mean to be a little God? Through definition of what we showed. What does that mean?
That we have some of the same earthly powers as Yeshua.
Yeah, but that ain't what I'm getting at. We said we had a definition for it. I help you. You got some, sister? What you got? That's good, but that ain't what we talked about. That's good, but that ain't the definition of what we said. I'll give you a hint. A strong leader. Huh? Come on, help me out there.
Be a strong leader, and he will make you
that manifests or reveals. Huh? A strong leader that reveals the what? The works or what? Yeah, the works or the worship that does what? Come on, y'all. Come on. I ain't gonna give it to you. Alright. We said, according to the Paleo-Hebrew, each letter has a specific function.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
There you go. Let me go to the mic. Hold on. You did good. Sis. Hold on. We gotta give her a mic so she can see.
I thought you were going to
I ain't got no candy. We're too grown for some candy. Give it up. Test 1, 2, 3. All right, what you said it was, Sister Nicole.
It reveals the worship of that which sustains life.
There you go. So to be an Elohim is to be a strong leader or a shepherd that guides or that reveals the worship. Or what is another form of worship? Is what? Is it, I love you, Yahweh, and I learned to and adore. Is that just worship? Lifestyle. But greater than lifestyle is what? Obedience to what?
The law.
The covenant. The covenant. So we are to be the strong leaders that guides and reveals the work or worship that sustains life. That's what it means to be an offspring of the Most High. That you've been specifically chosen to be that leader that reveals the worship that will sustain what? Life. Now, why is that important in the time that we live in?
Because he has given us obedience, and if we know God will take our feet where we're supposed to be in the earth, where we
Yes.
exercise in
Give my sister a mic. What a mic though. You own it, sis. You own it. Say it again.
He has given us dominion in the earth. And in order for us to know that we are little G's, like you say, it comes to sustain life, but also if we know who we are, we will begin to take our dominion and our authority in the earth that has been given to us. So it's rightfully ours, even the power, the word, healing, deliverance, everything. It belongs to us, and those are the things that we're supposed to do.
That's right. That's good. Let's go to Isaiah 60 real quick. If we still in review, we got about 5 more minutes. Isaiah 60, and this is going to show you the why. Because, hey, it's time to get off the bench. Who done played sports before? Everybody know what a bench warmer is, right? Somebody that don't never get in the game, that can't play that good. I mean, that's the bottom line. If you don't never get the opportunity to play, you ain't that good. Why you wouldn't be that good? Because you ain't taking time to do what? To perfect your what? Dominion. Isaiah 60. Can somebody get there and read it? Isaiah 60 verse 1. Did I say that right? Yeah, Isaiah 60. Verse 1.
Arise, shine, for the light has come.
Do what now?
Arise, shine, for the light has come.
Say it one more time.
Arise, shine, for the light is come.
Pause. How many of us have arise? Don't raise your hand. Don't raise your hand. You might arise more than you think. Don't think that you ain't got no mic in your hand, you ain't arise. Just by you waking up and having the come that you did what? Arise. Just when you left what we was in before, you come to truth, that means you did what? Arise. So don't always think because you ain't in the front that you ain't arise. You see what I'm saying? But it's another level. I keep reading.
And the glory of Yahuwah is risen upon thee.
So the glory is all upon you. Do we know that? My sister say she know. She the only one in here know. Anybody else know the glory that rolls upon you?
Yes, sir.
How do you know? Come on, Sister Kimberly, you looking at me. Say something. Say something. Get on the mic, y'all.
How do I know the glory of the I see the changes
There you go.
in already.
There you go. There you go. That's one way to know that the glory is around you, because you start to see changes all around. Anybody else want to help out with that? All right, let's read.
For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
All right. So this is why you have to realize that ye are small, what? G's. Because darkness can fill what?
The earth.
And gross darkness is what? On who?
The people.
The people. So the Most High then risen upon you, then pull you out of Babylon. The Babylon is crushing and completely falling down. Completely falling down now. So he pulled you out of that. Right? I got to jump back. Ain't gotta worry about no better with this. He pulled you out of that to bring you into what we are in now. Right? So, because darkness is on the earth and on the people, he pulled you out to be a little Elohim. And what's a little Elohim? According to the Hebrew definition, a what? Strong leader that does what? Reveals or manifests that which what? Sustains life. You see how that is?
So is that like life that sits on the hill that cannot be hidden?
That's right. Because everybody gonna be flocking to you. Because what? You got to reveal worship, because what we got to get out of is religion. We ain't got to reveal religion. Don't make rebirth a religion. That ain't nothing but a dance. But it's what we've been specifically designed to do in the awakening as a people. But we not a set of a religion, because the Most High ain't dealing with that. He's dealing with a nation and a culture that he has given to a nation to be little Elohim. So again, I want to drive that home, because this is what I don't want to have. I don't. Oh yeah. Oh. It's good stuff. This is what I don't want to have. Right. This is why I mess with y'all every now and then. Make sure you get it. We ain't finna do this thing like we was doing at church. We come get a good message every week. You ain't applying nothing. You don't remember nothing. And then you just have problems and situations and being defeated. We want to make sure that everything that we are saying, that we're mixing it with faith. And this is why we give y'all the microphone to help me with the message. Because the Most High might give you an insight in something that he gave me that's going to help us all. So don't never think you ain't being affected by just coming. Just because you don't play the keyboard, you don't play the drums, you ain't in the Daughters of Judah, and you just sitting here, you think you ain't being affected. You're affected by being a part of the assembly and being allowing the Most High to use you even in the midst of the message. So because of Isaiah 60, that gross darkness is on where? The people.
On the earth and of the people.
He told you to do what? Arise and do what? Because you are little what? But before we go into the fullness of little G's, we got to get the domesticated mentality. What does it mean to be domesticated? We've been talking about that. Give me your own definition from your heart.
Earthly trained.
Who?
Earthly trained.
Great definition. That's a great definition. Man. Earthly change, not change. Change rather than spiritual. But remember that we came from the greatest spirit, which is who? Yah, the Most High. So we can't function as natural beings. But what was our domestication? Slavery. What's some of the things that domesticated us? And slavery that we learned. Religion. What else? That's a big time domesticated that. Every last thing you got about, just in Christianity alone, you got about 200 and some thousand miles in different denominations. And we in all of them. But they've been given to do what? Domesticate us and keep us what? Separate. That's the purpose. Because one thing about us is it's a part of our nature to take ownership of something. We just don't be in it, we become it. You know what I'm saying? Anything we do, we become it. Even ghetto. You give us ghetto, we're going to take it to the next level. And then put a whole new definition of what ghetto is. Same with being a thug. We're going to take that thug life to a whole other level because we don't just do something, we become what it is. And that's the same thing with denominations. Some of us have became coaches, became the Church of our Lord Jesus Christ, became Baptists. Oh, I'm Baptist. We Baptists over here. Y'all apostolic. That's what we is. That's our DNA. And that's why it be so hard to do what? Break free from it. Because it's hard to break free of something that you became one with. Now it's part of your soul, it's part of your nature. But thank the Most High that he did what? Pulled us out. So, since we have been pulled out, we have been commissioned because we have been pulled out and been shown the way of eternal life, or that which what? Sustains through what? This covenant. This covenant is our worship system. Everything we do is worship. Everything. Every culture in back in ancient days had a worship system, a way that they worship their God. This is our way. This is why our way is called the way. That wasn't just something new that Messiah was saying. They called this the way. So we have been given the way to give life to that which sustains. So now, when you're on your job, in the grocery store, when you're around people, realize that's why we should never have thoughts of suicide. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Never have thoughts of suicide. Because if you have those thoughts, then you don't understand how valuable you are just being you. Not even doing nothing yet. But what was called upon your ancestors, man, you just valuable anyway. You hear what I'm saying? So you have been chosen to be little Jesus, the strength or the leader that reveals to the earth, and you do it whether you know it or not, that reveals to the earth the worship of that which sustains. Because ain't nothing else stable right now but this. This is our worship. You see what I'm saying? All right. That was a good review. Y'all did good. Y'all did good. Y'all listen. Every now and then we'll do a review. I'll have a little quick pop quiz. Anybody got any questions, comments, or concerns? So we move on to the next thing. Y'all, I forgot to tell y'all this. My bad. It's on me. My bad. We're going to have a family come down here today, and we're going to renew their vows in this service at the end. I completely forgot to tell y'all. They did tell me, they told me early, but they didn't tell me early. We found out a little late. But we're going to do it in this service. And it's going to show you a little bit how the symbolisms on making a covenant together and the bond of it and what that means. So some of y'all that are single, you'll know what you're doing the next time you get married. That's all right? Or those that want to renew. All right? But that's on me. My bad. All right.
We all good out.
All good out. Appreciate that. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to get ready to go into the next portion. We're going to call Mother up to take us through our health portion. Y'all give Mother and
Those that hand clap, as she comes forward.
I'm a little beautiful in that blue, ain't it? You did that.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
I'm going to talk about something that you might say, well, what does that have to do with health? But it has everything to do with health. And the scripture that I'm basing this on is in Exodus, Deuteronomy, and even in Ephesians, where it says, children, obey your parents in the Lord. In the Old Testament, it says, honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee. So, what's the flip side of that? If you don't honor your mother and father, not only will your days be short, it will not go well with you. The reason why I thought to speak on this is a situation that I'm dealing with right now where a lady is actually on her deathbed. She was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And my daughter contacted me. She's in a different country, but she flew out there and she was asking me. The lady had already decided she was not going to take chemo. She done research on it, and she decided that. And the daughter was asking me, and she was doing everything she was told, and the mother within days, she was beginning to get better. But of course, this girl had to go back to her country if she was a working person. And the other 2 children that were left there, I thought they were doing right. I was in touch with them every day, but it seems they were not doing what they're supposed to, and she's just going down and down. I couldn't understand when I was speaking to the one that's supposed to be in charge why she was not getting better and better each day. But then I got a call last night from the first child, and she was explaining to me that they're just laying there, giving her something in the morning, then at lunchtime, then in the evening. Whereas the instructions I gave them was she's supposed to have the things at least 8 times a day.
Wow.
The woman is getting weaker and weaker. But then as her daughter began to explain, she said, this is the type of mother that did everything for her children. While they were sleeping in bed, she'd get up, she'd cook, she'd clean, she'd do everything. And now she's on her deathbed, and they're sitting in their beds doing nothing.
Wow.
It just puzzles me because you think that this is your mother. Why would Kenny was saying, don't try to figure it out because you won't be able to. It bothers me. The woman is dying. Her speech is slurring now. She's getting confused. And here are her children. Right there with the key to her regaining health. And they're too lazy. And I will say to you that have children, give your children responsibilities.
Yes.
Let them do chores. What age is short to me? If they can say no, they're old enough to do chores. Chores and responsibilities teaches them life skills and it builds character. When they go out, when they have their responsibility at home, they'll be responsible when they go to work. And with other people. They'll respect themselves and others. So that's my admonition to you today. Do what the scripture says. Teach them responsibility. Show them what it means to honor the mother and father. We're not talking about children that are abused. You've got a parent that's abusing you. You cannot respect the disrespectful. But for the mother or the father to do what they, even if it's not the right thing, as long as they're trying, they're using what they have and giving what they have. I was in the store some weeks back, and I heard the lady talking to a child and she said, get your ASS here.
Right.
And then she was all types of profanity. But when I went to the cashier, she was there. The boy was like 5 years old. She was cursing. Now what chance does he have? None. These children here, I don't even know if they know how blessed they are to have parents like you. But you do your part in teaching them to grow in the love and admonition of God. And it includes giving them responsibility. And I say this, take these screens from the monitor. Monitor these screens. Monitor the screens. If they have to have the screens, limit them an hour, perhaps, per day. Even the television. There's a little boy, I'm sure you know him, Caillou. Very disrespectful. Very. Watch the shows, they put all types of things in these shows. And ultimately, it will end up in bad health and death. So it is all connected to our health. So that's just what I wanted to share with you. It just upset me so much last night when I heard what was going on. I just couldn't believe it. But you don't help your children by doing things for them. They say that anything a child can do for himself, let him do it.
Hallelujah. Ain't do nothing but hallelujah right there. I mean, that's the bottom line. We got to show that respect, and we got to respect our parents. So that's one promise of long life. I tell my children all the time, don't you want to live long? And do what the scripture says. Obey your parents. Respect your parents. So that's extremely, extremely important for us to do. But that goes back to the family structure. And even what we were talking about last night. How many of y'all caught the broadcast last night? That's something that we're going to start definitely doing, helping out different ones with marriage. That's something that's not really in Israel, where people are not really just exalting marriage the way it needs to be exalted, or pushing it, marriage the way it needs to be pushing it. That's why we have these problems. You know, we shouldn't want to have a bad marriage. Like, that's insane to me. You shouldn't want to be disrespectful to your husband. You should not want as a husband to disrespect your wife. You should desire principles to make your marriage better. Why? I don't understand. Why sit there and suffer? Like we was talking about yesterday. There's no new thing under the sun. Y'all look at me. You ain't got a problem that ain't in the earth. I'm going to say that again. Hallelujah. You don't have a problem that hasn't been in the earth before you got here. A lot of times we act like we do. And there's always ways to help your problem be solved or help move towards healing. But you have to do the due diligence to desire that and to do what? Go after that. And in your marriage, you should be going after that with all your heart. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Right. Am I the only one who want to get married? I'm going to have one. I'm going to do what it takes. Because I don't like having problems. Hear me? I like things to be good. Us laughing, having a good time. Not having attitude. And get on the phone. He ain't this. He ain't this. Girl, I went there. You got some single friends. Somebody that's single, and you getting advice from a single person. That ain't wise, y'all. Y'all don't get quiet on me. No, not. That ain't wise, y'all. So that's what we're gonna be called to do. Every first Friday at 7 p.m. we'll be doing something on marriage. We'll be bringing different ones in that specialize in different areas. But on the fourth Fridays, we'll have people come in that just tell their testimony in marriage. Just, like I said, stuff that help my marriage might not help yours completely, but you can take the principles. And that's why we're gonna make this thing. It's just not a Tekoa and Chrissy thing, or Morris and Chrissy thing. It's all of us. All of us are involved with making this ministry work. Everybody. Everybody. We got to have all hands on deck. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You have been gifted and specifically placed here because of what's inside of you. But the only thing that we have to get in you first is the vision of where we're going. Because if you don't know where we're going and you start going down another road, I'm gonna bring that road back over here and see if this is the vision of the road you need to be on. You see what I'm saying? But the core group of what we have now, we all right. Most of everybody here understand the direction and the vision we're going and we good. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So y'all, let's work on our marriage on purpose. If you don't know how to communicate, you ain't got to go 20 years saying I don't know how to communicate.
That's right.
You ain't got to go 20 years saying, man, hey, my dad ain't communicating me. My mama, we was not no good communicators. So you gonna stay right there? That's just it. Your marriage gonna suffer because you don't know how to communicate. But you're going to go to a 4-year college and get a degree in something you specialize in, and you took time to study that to become an expert. But you won't study communication. Hear me talking. Let's work on this thing, man. We're going to hit everything. We're going to hit sex. We're going to talk about sex. We don't like to deal with sex, but we're going to deal with it. Because sometimes that's an issue. I'm going to bring specialists in sexual health. But we got to get sexual healthy. Okay, something happened. Hey, that's some issues. It happens. Real talk. So we're gonna get right. That's all right. All right. All right. So let's get bring the children up front real quick. I'm gonna speak to them. Again, we are the next thing that we're gonna do with our sessions. We're gonna add in a heat bread. The studying of Hebrew, we start doing 10 minutes of that. Well, we're teaching you Hebrew, the principles of Hebrew. Now we're going to the paleo and ancient. What I ain't saying is you're going to be able to be fluent in Hebrew. We ain't doing it. I'm sorry. You got to do that on your own time. But we're going to give you the principles, how to study the scriptures Hebraically and give you resources. You see what I'm saying? Because the definition of little God, you wouldn't got that out of Strong Concordance. Everybody know what a concordance is. You wouldn't got that. Understand that the Strong's Concordance is not inspired by the Most High. Not saying it is wrong, but it's their best educated guess according to their studies. Does that make sense? All right, children. How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? Let me hear you say, how you doing? How you doing? Everything all right? Everything cool with y'all? How your week been? First week of summer? Been all right? We're going to let you testify. All right, so we're going to have each, and we're going to start with the end over here since y'all don't get to come. Right, it's like everybody come forth and say something that they appreciate for the Most High about, something that He did in y'all little lives. So come on forth. Come on, bro. Turn towards the people. You're thankful for life. That's good. Come on. You already having a good time. Come on, this cheese is all of it, man. Tell me what you think. Thankful for life. You thankful for life too. Come on, bro. Somebody's being a good bit, bro. Make sure he's good. I'm thankful for clothes. That's a good thing to be thankful for. Everybody ain't got clothes. Hallelujah. Come on, my brother. You thankful for, big man? I thank you for my family. All right. He's thankful for his family. All right. Now we coming over here. Come on up here, Jazz. What you thankful for? Thankful for the crowd, baby. I'm thankful for spending time with my
getting to see my friends over the summer.
Hallelujah. She's thankful for her friends. All right, come on, baby. Oh, come on, big man. What you thankful for, man?
I got one and nobody named Mommy and Daddy.
All right. He's thankful for his mommy and daddy. He said a whole lot of stuff to say there, but that's good. You don't know how to talk yet, Shalom. You don't know. All right, yay! All right, come on. Come on.
I'm thankful for being able to be there.
To be good? Oh, hallelujah. She's thankful to be here. Hallelujah. Come on, my man. Come on, big man.
I'm thankful for the word.
The word. Give me a 5. What? Ah, he's thankful for the word. Come on up here, baby. What you thankful for?
I'm thankful for my family.
For her family. Awesome. Get her hand clap. All right, come on, MJ.
I'm thankful for yesterday when we spent time with our cousins.
All right. Have a good time with his cousins. Come on, Jay. Jay. Hadassah.
I'm thankful for little things.
Little things. Oh, that's awesome. You're a good baby, so she's throwing in a plug. That was a plug. Baby, okay, trying to make some money over the summer. And for little kids. Anybody needs some help? I got a fee. Give you my resume. Somebody get this little one. All right. We got everybody. We got some little kids. Children. Baby, you want to come forward? You want to come up? Your mommy can come up with you. You want to come forward? Tell us what you're thankful for. You say, no, not today. It's my first time here. I'm sitting back looking at y'all first. Come on, baby, it's your turn. Ah, thankful for school. Awesome. You was better than me. I was never thankful for no school. That's awesome. All right. I want one of y'all to get a Bible for me. Who was the reader last time? I need another reader. Who want to come up and read? Come on. Yeah, come on. Let me try to. All right. Hold that. You got it? You sure? All right. I'm gonna tell you to start reading right there, and then you see that it says keep up. Good. All right. We're gonna help you out. All right. Now, young children. Today, you got a question? I didn't say that yet. Today, we're gonna talk about. We're gonna say something real quick about teach y'all about respecting. Everybody say respecting the sanctuary. Say respecting the what? What would be considered the sanctuary? What's the sanctuary? Who? Us? That's good. Somebody said us. Or the building, right? Today's going to be the building that we are assembling in. All right? That's all right? What does it mean to respect a place? Not a person, but a place. What does it mean to respect a place? To do what? Keep it clean. Man, you gotta work on that. I used to break stuff when I was his age. You got a little bit of that. Not to break things. What are some things that we might do? Let me hold it. What are some things that we might do in the sanctuary that might break something? Run around. So one thing we shouldn't do what? We shouldn't what? You're right. We should clean up. But we shouldn't do what? Run around because something can do what? Break or fall. All right, what else should we do? Spin. Yeah, you shouldn't spin. What's a good place to do all of that? Outside. So all y'all do it. Outside. All right? Now the little ones that's maybe about 4, 3 on down, it's going to take y'all bigger ones stepping with it. All right? So if you see them doing it, go talk to them, go pull them, or take them to their parents or something like that. You see what I'm saying? But all that type of playing is for what? Outside, not where. All right, everybody got it. Now let's get some scripture on there. Read what it says.
Keep go into the house of God.
All right, it says, keep thy foot when thou go into the house of God. So what would be considered a house of God? Heaven? Okay. What else? Who? This here? Go ahead. This building. Why would we call this building, it can be considered a house of God? Why? Because we teach about the covenant, because we do what else?
It's supposed to be a house for him to fellowship in.
A house for him to fellowship in, or worship with us, or to meet us. So we sing, we pray, we fellowship, we do all those things. We invite his presence where? Here. So this is why we have to be respectful of what? Y'all fellas got that? Got to be respectful of what? The house of what? The house of God, which is wherever we go. But today is what? Here. So what does it say? It says, keep thy foot when thou go into the house of God. What does it mean when you keeping your foot? You being what? Am I? When I'm doing this and I'm keeping my foot when I'm running real fast. Any of y'all ever sprain your ankle? Or hurt your toe? How did that feel when you tried to walk on it? It was what? It was what? So what did you do when you walked? You walked very what? Because you was keeping what? Your foot. Does that make sense? So I was being mindful, ain't it right there? We was being mindful. That's right. She came up here to say amen. Yeah. So it's important for us in the sanctuary. And where's the sanctuary? In the building. To not do things that are for outside, inside. What are some of the things again that are for outside? Running, playing, jumping up and down, drop kicking the chair, doing a backflip off the chair. Who? It's all right with me. Well, what you mean by goofy? What's some goofy thing?
Breaking things.
That's right. That's right. He's real serious about this thing, okay? Breaking things, being goofy. We ain't doing none of that. Y'all, bro, I need to let him see this letter. He got the right demeanor. He mean business. Tell him what you need to do.
Be good and don't break stuff inside the sanctuary.
That's what I'm talking about. He teaching. Do good and don't break stuff in this sanctuary, because this sanctuary is what? God's what? Or Yah's what? Creation or house. So today we want to talk to y'all about being mindful. So the babies, like say my little daughter Shalom, it's gonna take a team effort. It's gonna take a team effort. Y'all on my team? We on the same team, right? So the little ones, the little babies, it's gonna take us a team effort to help them not run, right? So you see the little baby going like this. Go get her. You know that? I'm gonna feel that. I'm gonna be watching my foot. You see them doing all that. What is it your job to do? Because we're what? A team. So what is your job to do? They bring them what? They calm them down. Great. So calm them down, and then let me tell you what you can do. You can calm them down and do this like that. Come on, baby. You take them right there. You see what I'm saying? Because we working what? As a team inside the sanctuary. One day, we're going to have a playground, and right after service, we're going to throw all y'all out there on the playground. And you can run, flip, jump, and kick all you want. But in the what? It's no what? There we go. We got that? Get them on time. High clap. All right. So we're gonna work on that. I know that was our first teaching on that, but it's gonna take some practice. But we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. But we all do a pretty good job on that. All right? Everybody okay? Yeah. All right. Now you can go back and sit with your parents. And don't be goofy, like my man said. All right. So the next thing we're going to get ready to do is call up our daughters of Judah, some of the singers. Y'all singing? Hallelujah. They worked out their own thing today. Y'all give them a hand clap as they come forward. All right, sit. Mic check. Somebody else? Any more mic? One more mic. Mic check.
Shalom. Hallelujah. It's an honor to be before you to praise and worship the Most High on today. The first song that we will sing is Kumbaya. We're going to ask our brother to read the scripture for us.
And he came into all the country about Jordan, preaching the baptism of repentance for the remission of sins. As it is written in the book of the words of Elijah the prophet, saying, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord Most High, make his path straight. Every valley shall be filled, and every mountain and hill shall be brought low. And the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough ways shall be made smooth. And all the flesh shall see the salvation of God.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Kumbaya, 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 The next song we will sing is called Here I Am. Was written by our sister, Sister Connie. We will have our brother to read the scripture for us. Romans 12:1.
Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship.
Hallelujah. Here I am. Here I am. Oh, here I am. Here I am.
All right now.
Here I am. Here I am. Oh, here I am. Take my body as a living sacrifice. Set apart and acceptable unto you. I present my body as a living sacrifice. Set apart and acceptable unto you. Most High, take all of me. Most High, take all of me. Set apart and acceptable unto you. I'm pouring out unto you. I'm pouring out unto you. I'm pouring out unto you. Set apart and acceptable unto you. Most High, take all of me. Most High, give all of me. Set apart and acceptable unto you. Pouring out unto you. Pouring out unto you. Pouring out unto you. Set apart and acceptable unto you. Most High, take all of me. Most High, take all of me. Set apart and acceptable unto you. Pouring out unto you. Pouring out unto you. Pouring out unto you. Set apart and acceptable unto you. Most High, take all of me. Most High, give all of me. Most High, take 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 all of me. Set apart and acceptable unto you. This is the day. This is the day. The Most High has made. The Most High has made. I will rejoice. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And be glad in it. This is the day the Most High has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day the Most High has made. I will enter His gates with thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter His courts with praise. I will sing His praise. The Most High has made. I will rejoice and be glad. I will return His praise with thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter His courts with praise. I will sing His praise. The Most High has made. I will rejoice and be glad. He has made me glad. He has made me glad. I will rejoice, for He has made me glad.
That's what I'm talking about. More about that. Yes. Hallelujah.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. All right. I'm coming to you guys from Deuteronomy. Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah our Elohim is one Elohim, and thou shalt love Yahuwah thy Elohim with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on the gates. Shalom.
Shema Israel.
All right.
Yeshua HaMashiach Hu Adonai. Every knee shall bow, and every tongue confess that Yeshua, our Messiah, is
through the sea, press through the land, press through the land, press through the land, press through the land. Sound the alarm, 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 sound the alarm. Roll the trump, 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 roll the trump. Sound the alarm, sound the alarm, sound the alarm. Sound the alarm, 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 sound the alarm. All while your enemies are being scattered, sound the alarm. And your enemies are being scattered. Sound the alarm. Let me come at you one way, and they will flee from the surrender. You got to keep on sounding the alarm. Wake up, wake up, wake up, Judah. Wake up, Israel. Wake up, Judah. Wake up, Israel. Sound the word. Sound the word. Sea to sea, land to land, nation to nation, together we stand. Sound the alarm, sound the alarm. Wake up, Judah, wake up, Israel, wake up, Judah, wake up, Israel. Sea to sea, nation to nation, country to country, land Cause he's coming back. 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 We're ready. He's coming back. We're ready. Yes, you should have. I'm a cheater. Elohim, the Almighty. He's coming back. He's coming back. He's coming back. Sorry,
Hallelujah. Come on, give God a hand clap. Come on, lift up your voices. Lift up your voices. Hallelujah. Give God a hand. Lift up your voices. Lift up your voices. Lord, give you praise to your name. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise God. Praise God. Hallelujah. He's worthy of all the glory and the honor and the praise. He's worthy of all the glory and the honor and the praise. Hallelujah. To our King, Yahuwah, we glorify you. We bless your name. We bless your name. Hallelujah. 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 We praise you. We bless your name. Isn't he worthy? And we could have stayed there all for the rest of the service. Things that the Most High got on his mind to do. Hallelujah. Giving y'all the praise that's due unto his name. Hallelujah. Amazing thing, the daughters of Judah bought that my mother was speaking of. Wake up Judah and wake up Israel. Let's get the daughter of Judah a hand clap. Powerful, powerful. Ushering in the presence of the Most High. Ushering in the presence of the Most High. And one of the things we're going to talk about today is who will rouse Judah up. Sound like Judah already been roused up, ain't it? Who will rouse Judah up? Hallelujah. Can everybody see? Like you being in there. All right, I'm going to have to just go on some that you can see and maybe turn to the scripture so you can see it a little better. Let's go to 82, Psalms 82 and 6. We've been dealing with the series of Ye Are Gods. Hallelujah. And we had a pretty good review of that. So we're going to hit some areas. Psalms 82 and 6. When somebody have it, can you read it for me? Psalms 82 and 6. I'm going to do some review, because the main thing that we're trying to do with these lessons is get your mentality, we're good? Get your mentality at a level where you can understand what the Most High is trying to do. See what the Most High is trying to do with your mentality. One thing you notice about me, I'm always trying to dig in your faith and get your mentality at a level where you can function. Hear what I'm saying? Where you can function in the end times. Where you can function in the end times. Because it is going to be some days that come upon us that we are going to have our faith strong. Hallelujah. We got to have our faith strong. So somebody read that Psalms 82 and 60. Can we run through some things? And we're going to get you on out of it. We probably ain't going to finish this. We can do part 4, 5, 6, 7. Just keep going. All right, somebody read that for me. Come and get somebody quickly.
I am fed, you are gods, and all you are children of the Most High.
It said, I have said that ye are gods, which is little Elohim, and all of you are children of who?
The Most High.
The Most High. Keep reading. Everybody hit me pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so you are the little g, the offsprings of the Most High. You can't come from the Most High and don't have its essence. We came from him in Genesis 1 and 26 when he said, let us make what? And our what? And our what? So we are in the image of him and the likeness, the same expression of creativity and spirit we have. But the only thing with us, we are contained in a flesh body to have the dominion to be able to see in this realm. What else it says? It said, I have said that ye are gods, and you are all the children of the Most High, but what?
But ye shall die like me, and fall like one of the princes.
Wait a minute now. Remember that Yeshua is the one that quoted that scripture when they were trying to accuse him of blasphemy. So he said, I have said that ye are gods, and you are all children of the Most High, but you shall do what?
Die like me.
You're going to function on a lower mentality like regular mankind. You're going to die like man and what?
And fall like one of the princes.
And fall like one of the princes. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Who are the mighty?
The angels.
But who are the mighty in the earth? Israel. Remember that? Israel are the mighty in the earth. All right, let's keep going.
Arise, O God.
I'm going to give you this picture again. Just hold on. Now, going back, what's wrong with this picture?
It ain't up.
There's a lot wrong with that picture. You ain't got no picture. So it wasn't up the whole time?
It just went out.
We're going to bring the picture back so you can see what's wrong with the picture. So while that's getting together, basically what is that is showing you is a domesticated animal. All right, and in natural habitat, does animals supposed to be domesticated? They're not supposed to be domesticated. All right, so what is the problem? What is the problem with domesticating animals? What are some of the issues with that? Sometimes they can't be tamed. Is it natural for them to be domesticated? I don't know what's going on with this, but y'all just gonna have to listen to me. And I ain't got time to try to figure out what's going on. That's all right. Y'all just listen to me. So animals are taken away, put in a cage to be trained how to live beneath what it was created to be. A lion was never meant to be in a cage contained. That he's the king of the what? So his levels of his mentality will never be able to use. Levels of his creativity because he's not in his natural habitat. So even when it comes down to the animal's food, everything about this animal when it's domesticated is told to it, right? It's given to it in order to control this animal to do what it desires to do. Now, who in the scriptures have been domesticated? Israel. Not only just coming from the wild, not just coming from Africa, which we would have been in our natural habitat, but we've been raised in domestication, raised raised in domestication. So we don't know no other thing but what has been taught to us. In domestication, things that you have to control. You got to control the name. You got to control the language. You got to control the history. Everything about this being you have to control because you've been domesticated, right? So what if this lion never had an opportunity to really understand its full potential because it never had an opportunity to see what it would be in its natural habitat? How many years of domestication have we experienced? What's some of the domesticated things? That chicken might have went out, though. The bug on it might have went out. I was just talking about that yesterday. All right, so let's look at what domesticated is. Adapted over time from a wild, a natural state to life and close association with the benefit of human. Made fit to be domesticated or brought to a level of ordinary people. Why were you told that you can never learn your history? Why was it such a great length to keep you from what your history was and keeping you from being able to read? What were they not trying to let you get at? Anybody can answer. Identity. What else? Our position. What else?
True worship.
True worship. Because what would be involved with true worship? The power. See, that's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. We haven't tapped into no power yet. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? It's a level of functionality that we got to get to that just crying and howling out Israel goes way beyond that. Knowing you Israel unlocks something. It's a means to get you to another end that we have come far away from, because what? We've been raised in deception and raised in domestication. And when you start to break free of it, then you seem like a radical. Oh, he's a black nationalist. Oh, he just by his people now. Oh, he must be Muslim now. Because what? You're breaking out of what? The domestication. You're fighting now. But don't stay at just yelling that I'm Israel. I want more than that. I'm more hungry than just being ordinary. Y'all hear what I'm saying to y'all? Y'all with me tonight? Yeah. It's something greater that I am in pursuit of being. I'm pressing towards another type of mark. I'm identifying myself. Hear what I'm saying, y'all? It's greater than just knowing your identity as Israel. But I'm identifying who I am without deception. Who I can be without domestication. I'm examining everything about me. Everything that I have learned, I got to examine to see if it's a form of what? Domestication. Because that's going to hinder my awakening process and hinder me from power that I'm supposed to walk in. Unless you're comfortable. Hear what I'm saying? Y'all watch me. Unless you're comfortable with being where you at and having an ordinary life and comfortable not operating like your ancestors. Sometimes we can't see past our problems and circumstances and situations. Sometimes we can't see past our pain. Sometimes we can't see past what we've been through. That we can't see the other side of functioning in something that's different. Because we got to know it's something different than what we have and what our ancestors have. Right or wrong? The number one reason to know something different because you've been kept away from it. What would make them want to kill you for reading? See, I want y'all to think about this. What would make them classify in law that you can't understand and know your history? What is it about it that you function in that they never want you to ever get to? That they say if you ever get back there, that means the downfall of our kingdom. And then it will bring what? Their fear. Man, y'all hear what I'm saying? Maybe I'm the only one that wants this. It's a level of reverence that the Most High put in the earth concerning his people, Israel. People ain't just run up in the Israelite camp to try them. Because what? They heard about the miracles and the things that their Elohim did for them. So it was already a level of reverence before they went in and took over a place. We look at Abraham just as in coloring books, just going into Egypt. Abraham went in and choked the neck of kings. He snatched them up, got his cousin Lot and his nephew Lot out of there. He had many fights and wars. Am I trying to get you to fight somebody? No. Go out there and get yourself shot. Don't choke no supervisor. Leave the supervisor alone. Don't say, Mama already said, get out there and choke it up, Abraham. No, you're going to get me in jail. Conspiracy to the crime. But the level of thinking, listen to what I'm saying, y'all. I'm trying to put you out what's inside of me. What's inside of me in y'all. It's a hard saying. We might not be that generation that walk in the second excellence. We might not be that generation that is led with a strong hand and a strong power with fear poured out for him to come and return. We might not be. We might be the pioneers to get that generation in. This baby right here, we have to prepare her because we might have to be the thing that they can embrace who they really are. Because what? They growing up in a second generation of it now. We first generation. We just finding it out. So we making a lot of mistakes trying to find our way. But them will be raised in it. Can you imagine these babies being raised outside of deception? Where they can function in full mentality of power. Outside of domestication. No more domestication no more, because now I see through what you're doing. I can identify it now. I got eyes wide open. I got a smell like a dog paw for deception. And they put a wool over my eyes. But we have to be the pioneers. Or, it's another hard saying, or they sacrifice to make sure they get it. Oh, I know we're going to get quiet right there now. But it could be like that. Don't have all your stuff wishing and hoping that we all running out of here. Because that's why I now, to put a lot of my energy, I'm training a lot of young men right now, a lot of them 25 and under. Training, having calls with them, getting them ready. Because what? We got to be able to transfer to them what we have so they can come take it to another level. That's greater than what we can bring. Because what? We still waking up now. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all, we ain't got time to have resentment and bitterness and angry against each other. We ain't got time for it. We ain't got time to be fussing and fighting. We ain't got time to be mad at somebody for 2 months because they ain't call your name on the line. We ain't got time to be whispering in each other's ears. Oh, you heard what Maureen talking about. What you feel about that? I don't think that's right. I think we need to do things. We ain't got time for phone calls like that, man. Y'all hear what I'm saying? We got too much ahead of us. You see what I'm saying? And we got to have such a focus that it don't matter who came with us. If they ain't in this with us, we still love you. But you might not be for this vision. Not saying that you ain't right. You just ain't a fit for this. You hear what I'm saying? 'Cause I got such a determination. If something happened with Rebirth, hear what I'm saying to y'all. If something happened with Rebirth, I can still go home and I bring something else that's going to be just as powerful. Because what? It's inside of you. Great is he what? Inside of you. Because I got a determination to finish my course, no, by any means necessary. You see what I'm saying to y'all? But to live outside of domestication. Let's keep going. All right, so now let's look at some of the 400 years. Because y'all, you got to start, when the scripture says examine yourself, examine yourself. You ain't where you think you at. Mm-hmm. You ain't where you think you at. You think because you go to the feast days, you good. Because you got them head wraps on, you holy. Holy daughter of Zion. But y'all, we've been domesticated through generations. So some of that residue is in your DNA. Some of that residue of control is still inside of you that you have to examine and making sure, and this is why when it comes to the babies, making sure that you ain't passing something down to them that you ain't examining yourself. Because who the Most High gonna hold accountable? He gonna hold you accountable. All this truth coming out now, ain't no excuse. So I want to make sure I'm not passing down something that I should be exposing and getting out of my life. My children will be raised outside of deception and domestication. That's my commitment to them. You understand what I'm saying? Now let's look at this. 40 years slavery from 1619 to 1865. Black codes 1865 to 1866. KKK 1865 to today. They ain't gone nowhere. They still here. Some of them your police force, some doctors, some of them your lawyers, some of them your judges. Jim Crow, 1877 to 1954. Redlining, 1934 to 1968. War on drugs, 1971 to today. Mass incarceration, 1970. Understand, y'all? Watch me. Now, I know. Hear what I'm saying, y'all. I understand when we are in a season of separation, where the Most High can separate people in Israel. He's doing it. You can't rock with everybody. Folks think that you think they in the faith, they ain't in there. They're doing some other stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand that the Most High is doing it. And you got to be okay with it. I will tell y'all, you wear people like loose garments. Ain't nothing holding on to me tight. I can take this shirt and flop it off. I love this shirt. I appreciate you. But I'm committed to what I'm doing. Now, understanding that, watch this. I watched that but a documentary called How They See Us. It's a little rough. I wanted to take a day off work. If I came to work, I was a little aggressive. I was. You know. Come in this office asking me about nothing. Leave me alone. Oh! Yep. Now, let me be. But watch this. When you look at the magnitude of the system against a powerless people, this system is so wicked against us. It's terribly wicked. I mean, honestly, it ain't no going in there changing it. It's set up, it ain't broken the way it's supposed to be. When you look at what happened in the boys and how that happened, that's just one thing that came to light. That happens all the time. Now, watch this. You got that level of wickedness trying to kill us. in the court system, in the judges, on the police force, and doctors. So you think that these people in these doctors' places ain't just letting people die? You think they ain't just letting babies die? All of a sudden, something going wrong, something happening, and all they got is an excuse. Y'all ever read Medical Apartheid and see what's in those books and see what's happening? Experiments they've been doing on us for years, injecting diseases in us. The medical field, every area, the entertainment industry is nothing but poison against us. And we get paid to carry out that poison. Everywhere, listen to what I'm saying. Everywhere you turn, it's something that's been created to kill you indirectly. Because they can't put chains on you like they did before, but they can set up systems to kill you and justify it. Now you got a system like that coming from every end. Then you fight and killing each other. This system, listen to what I'm saying. It's systematically set up to kill you in droves that have a certain number that they kill. The amazing part is we keep coming back. Keep back multiplying. But it's set up to systematically take out your number every year. Right? It's happening. That's on the outside, foreign terror. And look at what we're fighting over. Stupid stuff. You got a system like that. And this is why the Most High, this is why Yeshua, when he came and said, if your brother spikes you on the right, you turn your other. He said, if your brother asks you to go a mile with him, go 2. What was he saying? He ain't saying just go, and he wasn't talking about no Romans. He was talking to the nation of Israel, how we deal with each other. Because what? You already got an oppressive system of Roman captivity on the outside. Why would you fight each other? If your brother offend you, turn your other cheek. What is he saying? Don't be so quick to retaliate. Why? Because you're already in captivity and systematically getting killed. Why would you start fighting each other? Understand the circumstance you're in and just take the slap. He ain't talking about to let somebody just punch you. But he said when it comes to offenses, understand that the overall good is deeper than where we at. Am I making sense, man? Yeah. So we got to stop separating and fighting each other, even in the awakening, over small doctrinal issues. Because we got a beast system like this already killing us and want us to get us by ourselves and separate. So it'd be easier to identify it. Anything, this is why we have all these different denominations and religions to do what? Keep us separate. Now, spiritually, we'll never come all the way together. You can't really have name or time in Israel, but spiritually all Israel came together. Not one time. When we was birthed as a nation, we was out there in that wilderness doing what? Fighting. Folks had their different sects. All the way during Mashiach time. That's why he said, upon this rock, I'm going to build what? My assembly. My gathering. We had all kinds of schools of thought. We ain't never been 100% on one accord. But you know what brought us together? Persecution. When persecution came, we started putting down doctrines and banding together. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I'm in need and somebody trying to kill me, and the Muslims got a safe house over there, and I'm running.
You going to that safe house?
I ain't stopping and saying they Muslims, I ain't going over there. I'm going. They ain't we ain't agreeing on doctrine, but when it comes, listen to what I'm saying. When it comes to survival, we have to, as a people, depend on each other because everybody else do. Them Jewish people have so many different doctrines within them, but when it comes to ethnicity, they'll never have another Holocaust. Why? Because when it comes to ethnicity, they band together. Mexicans too. 20 of them in one house. They come over here, you go over the wall, we're gonna go under the wall, the rest of us gonna fly over, and we'll meet on the other side. It might take us 5 years to come back together and meet, but we're gonna meet over there. Everybody do that. I'm gonna get to you. Everybody does that for who? Because we've been given doctrines of religion that domesticated us further. Because what? We have become the doctrine of whatever we in. We become it. Because they have studied us and understand that we're very territorial. We become those things, and now we fight each other because of it. Because what? We have no common culture to identify with in this domestication. So that's now, it takes things to identify with. Religion ain't nothing but a culture. Denominations ain't nothing but a culture. What I mean by that? You speak one common thing. You go around some of the people that's in Church of our Lord Jesus Christ, they have a certain lingo and terminology that they speak amongst each other. They got a certain way that they minister, a certain way that they administrate different things. That's what? A little culture that is started. If you don't have one, then you tag it on to anything that somebody give you. And all those things were started by who? The ones that's trying to domesticate you. Go ahead, sis. Let's get the mic to us so we can hear it.
I just wanted to add one thing to what you were saying. Another thing that other cultures do that we have yet to do is to unapologetically teach their children what they have gone through. They write books saying, we will remember, we will never forget. They're unapologetic about whatever atrocity that they have faced to let their children know this is what has occurred, and this is what you need to always be mindful of, and this is why we fight, and this is why we live, and the way that we operate. So we need to have that same mentality as it relates to how we tell our story to our children and keep it at the forefront of their minds so they will not be comfortable in the state that we are currently in.
That is excellent, because she is so on that we are not the pioneers of our own story. We let other people tell our story, but we as Israel, and that's what we're going to be trying to do. Well, we create documentaries, we create books, we create movies that tell our own story. I'm gonna set all my children down and let them watch how they see us. That's just a learning experience for them, so they can understand what it is. Number one, to be just running somewhere with a crowd just to run with them and what can happen with them. And then number two, how you get caught up in the system, but being at the wrong place at the wrong time, a system that already wants your demise. Go ahead, Mother. It's still on.
What she just said, that you have the quote unquote the Jews, the so-called Jews in Israel that are not the real Jews. Lady Monica and I was talking, and I was telling her, I said, you know, not only that, like she said, they are proclaiming to be poor, but they are some of the richest people in the world.
That's right.
And the United States gives them money every year, every month, and pays them. And then they have a campaign and commercials so that you can send them money across the world for their atrocities that they say they went through, which, you know, that was the second Holocaust.
Exactly.
But then talk about the men and women of color that had the first Holocaust.
That's right.
That was killed, there were more than them.
That's right. That's right. That only lasted maybe about, at the most, 5 to 6 years. But then you look at our teaching on where we destroyed that Holocaust, we destroyed the 1948, all that, told you the truth of what happened with all that, and why they still get money towards those things. So that is important. All right, so let's keep going. Again, I'm reviewing this so we get to another point that we're going to speed up. Again, what did we say that little gods were? The strong what? That what? Teaches or reveals through worship that which what? Y'all say it with me. To be a little Elohim, when you look it up in the Hebrew, every letter has a specific function or definition or character by it. So be a little Elohim is the aleph is the leader. Every leader, the leader that teaches or guides and does what? Reveals. Through what? Worship. That which what? So we have been given that commission to reveal to all the earth through our what? Worship system. That which what? Sustains life. That's need to be something you write down and you read to yourself every day. To keep that on your mind, what you're supposed to be doing. And teaching ain't just through talking. Sometimes through lifestyle. Sometimes through how you be with your children. Sometimes it's through praise and worship. Sometimes it's through playing on instruments. All those type of things is a form of teaching. We got that? All right, let's keep going. All right, let's get to the name of Israel, and then we're gonna keep going. All right, so Genesis 32 and 28. Genesis 32 and 28. Y'all just have to follow along with me. I'm going to read it. And he said that thy name shall be no more Jacob, but Israel, for thou art a prince that has power with God and with man and has prevailed. What does that mean to have power with God and with man and have prevailed? What does that mean? Or what kind of confidence they give you? Go ahead. You got what? So how would I tangibly operate in that? How would I walk around in operation with that? Would that give you confidence? Huh? To be able to walk in a place and know my very name means that I got power with the Most High. So he have already did what? Worked it out before I got there. And also have a certain favor that I'm going to have with man, even though he don't even know that I'm Israel. That's why I'm not afraid to go at nothing. Now, if it doesn't happen, then what? The Most High said, this ain't the time. Or you need some more qualification that you have to do in what? Your character. Because everything, when you relate it back to your character, you'll see everything is a growth process. That's why I can't be depressed by my skill didn't get me the job. It's some areas in your character that the Most High say, not yet. It's a level of elevation that you got to get to. Ain't got nothing to do with your skill because you already skilled and you got power with me and with man. But when you put it back on you, then you realize it's areas that I got to develop and grow. Not my skill, but the timing of the building of my character. That we got there. Y'all follow me? Yeah. All right, so we're going to move a little fast. Move a little fast. I ain't got to the other stuff yet. Is this happening? All right. So last time we talked about what are some of the things that's different, right? That we know that is something that our ancestors understood that we don't know. The whole reason we're doing this teaching on Year Gods. What's some of the things that are different than the mentality and faith that they had that we don't have? Give me an example.
They were unafraid.
They was unafraid. How?
I mean, when it came to
Get her the mic up. Chilling with the mic and wouldn't give her the mic. What you doing? Go ahead, sis.
It didn't matter what situation they were presented with. I mean, when you go with Dawid and the lion, or just the prophet who would go to the leader and be like, okay, the Most High said this is going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you would be killed
Mm-hmm.
for stuff like that. But now we were like, don't talk to me.
Boss coming. I'll say that. We walk outside right now, and there's grizzly bears running the streets. What we would do, I'll show y'all the back exit. We're going to run to the river wall while he's running down the street. Our ancestors will go out and challenge the bear and bring the bear to his knees. Ain't that crazy? They would see a lion and go fight the lion. Like Samson. It wasn't nothing about Samson's look that made him strong. It was the inner strength that the Most High placed on him. But he go and fight 1,000 men. If I'm at First Friday, I ain't got no business being there. I'm at First Friday. And I'm looking, that's why I'm always looking, y'all. Always looking around, know your surroundings so nobody can sneak up on you. My head be a swivel everywhere I'm going. Ain't nobody gonna kick me. Oh, no. But if 3 people finna fight me, I'm not fighting all y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna try to run. I'm gonna try my best. If you catch me, then I'm gonna hold in on one of y'all. One of y'all will be hurt. I'm gonna hit me in the back of my head. I'm gonna catch one of you. I'm gonna bite you, scratch you, whatever I got to do. But the ancestors would go at 1,000 men with the jawbone of a donkey and slay them. What did they understand? They understood what their name meant. That Elohim is with them, and they have favor with men. So they knew the fear of Elohim was already on them. They knew when they took that jawbone, when they swung it, it went in their strength. They knew that the Most High was in their hand. They knew when David threw that stone, it wasn't how he threw it, it didn't have to be big, but he knew that when he sling it, the Most High was guiding. And knew it was going to find its place. When Jehu killed Jezebel, when he threw that, when he threw a javelin at him, he knew that it was going to reach it because he knew what the Most High was in his hands. Think about that when it comes to where you're at right now and how you operate right now. Do you believe, y'all hear what I'm saying? I'm talking about mentality. I'm talking about mentality. Do you believe when you pray that the Most High is in your words, changing your circumstance at the point of your prayer? Ain't no more wishing and hoping no more. He's in my thoughts and he's in my words. That when I speak, I know whatever I declare, it shall be established unto me. Because what? I'm a spiritual being first, and I am him in the earth. Are we getting it? The only way it'll start working like that is your level of what? Faith. It ain't just gonna happen, y'all. But when you start increasing your walk with him, your relationship with him, and praying with that confidence, walking in the building with that confidence, having that confidence 24/7, it'll start orchestrating in other areas in your life now. Now, I'm at a point now, I know when I pray something fervently, it's going to happen like that. It's what I've been practicing this mentality because I understand what it means to be one in the covenant with the Most High and where that has to be seated at. You see what I'm saying? But if you've been domesticated, you think, man, I just got to pray and hope they come to pass. I'm going to call a brother and they're going to pray with me. That's domesticated thinking. Y'all see what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. Let me show you real quick. Y'all just listen to me. The mindset. We talked about the apostles, what they did, all the healings, the miracles, and all the type of stuff they did. We're going to talk about, Uncle Judah and his mentality. And to what happened, you have to know that he a little God. And what he told Joseph, if they don't let little Benjamin go. Let's read that. That's why we have to wait we at. Because Uncle Judah was the same way. Book of Jasher. I don't know if you got that. Chapter 1. And when Judah saw the dealings of Joseph with them, Judah approached him and broke an open door and came to his brother before Joseph. And Judah said unto Joseph, let not this seem grievous in the sight of my Lord. May thy servant, I pray thee, speak a word before thee. And Joseph said unto him, speak. And Judah spoke to Joseph and his brother, and were standing before him. And Judah said unto Joseph, surely when you first came, my Lord, to buy food, thou didst consider the father of them. Now therefore let the king hear my words, I pray thee, the brother, that he may go along with us to Father, lest our soul perish in the day with all the souls in the heavens of Egypt. Y'all hear what he just said? He said, let my brother go with me, unless your soul perish, and all the inhabitants of Egypt.
I'm going to kill everybody.
That's what he's saying. How you take a mentality of one man telling the second in charge in Egypt, that's just like saying, you don't let my cousin out of jail, I'm going to turn this jail upside down. You ain't got no weapons. But the mentality he knew that I done seen Elohim so much with me and my brothers and my family that if I speak that, he'll give me the power and the strength to do it. Now therefore let the king hear my words, I pray thee. Are we read that? And with all my strength, for I am greater and mightier than both of them, come to this day indeed, and thy land art unwilling to send our brother. Has thou not, watched this, what he telling? He was dead unto Pharaoh on account of Sarah our mother, whom ye took away from your father, that he smote him and his households with heavy players. Then even unto this day the Egyptians relate to this one and to each other. So will our God do unto thee on account of our brother Benjamin, who has did this unto this day, and our father on account of the evil that thou hast heaped upon the land. For our Elohim will remember his covenant to our fathers Abraham, and do what? Bring evil upon thee, because thou hast grieved thy soul of our fathers this day. So he's telling him, do you know about what the Most High did on our behalf? And if you don't do it, he's going to remember. Notice, y'all. Notice, they bring everything to the covenant. He said, if you don't do this, then the Most High going to remember his covenant. How can we apply that today? I like to teach application. How can we apply that today? I ain't talking about going to fight nobody, but to remind the Most High of his covenant. Yeah, Mike.
In our circumstances, in our situations, sometimes they get hard for us, and sometimes we don't know what to do. But if we remember what he said and what he will do even in that, we can apply that to our lives. Where sometimes things get hard and we might get a little shaky, but we don't have to get shaky like we normally would do. But even in our prayer time, when they come and they arise, and we would just pray and go to him and say, Father, I come in the volume of the book that is written of us, or me, or whatever, and give him his word back, because he watched over his word to perform it. And we are, he chose us, and we are a part of his word, because he put us in his word. So give him his word back so he can do what he said he's going to do, and believe that he perfect those things concerning us.
That's so key. But what our sister said, he watches over his word to do what? He watches over his word to do what? Do you know when you meditate on his word and act out his word, you become his word? I'm going to say that again. When you meditate and obey his word, you become it. So that means he's watching over you to perform what he declared. This is why it's important to understand his word, which is your promises. He's not going to move off crying. He's not going to move off hollering. He's going to move off obedience. But when you become that, he's going to watch over your circumstance to do what? Perform his word. But it takes that type of level of thinking. This is why in the end times, y'all will need this mentality. We ain't have to be afraid of nothing. If there's a famine coming in the land, which it is, y'all know how much debt America is in. That all these foreign countries is bailing us out. That they gonna want to come, they gonna want to come get what's owed to them. And they gonna start dealing with the food supply. There's some stuff coming. But why don't we have to be afraid? Because he's going to remember what?
Covenant.
The covenant is going to push us right through whatever's coming. That's why I'm not afraid of whatever technology they have. I'm not afraid of whatever FEMA camp they have, whatever break, all that stuff they have set up for us. I'm not afraid. Because what? Ain't no way we can return back unto him with all our heart, mind, and soul, and then we still faced with that. When he told us, when he do that, I'm going to have compassion on you and remember what? So he got a promise and a covenant on us that we can't see no diminishing or demise. Y'all understand what I'm saying? All right, Genesis 49, 1 through 9. We're going to get through some of this and then we're going to go ahead and close out. Genesis 49, verse 1 and 9. We'll start at verse 9. And this right here is going to show you, I wish I could show it to you, but show you the civil rights movement in the scripture. Or us waking up something and then going to sleep. Because something happened that we different than even what we was 50 years ago. Even by the way we talk, the way we dress. Do you know how young Malcolm X and the rest of them was? The Black Panther Party, how young they was. King, how young he was. These folks were in their 30s and 40s now. What it says here? It says, Judah is a lion whelp. But from the prey, my son, thou hast gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who will rouse Judah up. Judah is a lion whelp. What is that saying? Judah was as a child. And from the prey, in Judah's youth, we was what? A prey. When we first came over here, we was what? Considered what? Prey. Where everybody could come and do what? Whatever they want with us. Right? But it says, from the prey, my son did what? He stooped down. He had did what?
Growing up.
He started to embrace himself. This is why even during the 70s, they start wearing their froze and start wearing more natural stuff. Talking about black power and all that type of stuff. They began to do what? Raise up a little bit. Then they began to stoop down and crouch as a lion. This is why you had all these marches, all these fights, all these type of things, going on, Marcus Garvey going on all the way around. We began to stoop down, crouch as a lion, begin to act like we're going to attack something. We ain't take no mess. Then, as the old lion, we fell asleep. What happened from just that time to today where we ain't got no strong leader? Nobody's speaking on our back. Got to get somebody old as Farrakhan. Old as, what's his name? All them sellouts. What's the other sellout? Jesse Jackson. Big time sellout.
Rainbow Coalition.
All that. Now we can turn to what? Do you know that something had to happen to get us from walking around in respectable attire, greeting each other, talking with, do you know how articulate these guys was when they was on being interviewed? How they spoke. They was like, what's up, homie? Shawty, yeah, shawty, no. I here trying to make it happen. You know what I'm talking about? Doing what I got to do. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Wasn't that type of talk among us? Think about it. Those of y'all that's 50, 60 above, the era y'all grew up in, and the level of articulation and wisdom that they always talking in. And you take a 20-year-old today, go take a 22-year-old right now, and it's totally different. What systematically happened? So another so-called Messiah would be raised. What is one of the things that they implemented in the 70s? Who? Integration is one thing.
Dumb down education.
Dumb down education is too. But let me tell you one thing that we was doing even with dumb down education, before integration, we was teaching our children ourselves. It started getting dumbed down when we started integrating. Y'all believe that? I believe it. All right, so what else? What's one of the main things that happened that began to break all, what you say? Fathers. But it was a plan to get the fathers out of
drugs. You had crack.
Huh?
You had crack.
Crack, that's true. But it was a systematic plan that came from the government. Welfare, that's part of it. That's true. But what was the plan called? Who? COINTEL what?
COINTELPRO.
Their idea was it to never have another risen black leader. So they infiltrated everything and then implemented welfare, implemented the music industry, all the type of stuff. And this is why when I say Straight Outta Compton was one of the worst things from us, because it created niggerism. Well, we embrace being the hood, being the thug, calling our women bees, our women bees, the women embrace being hoes and thoughts, all that type of stuff. But we were still manly then. They said we gotta do something else. But they got them killing each other, and that's good. We want them to kill each other. But we got to implement another domestication, and we'll deal with that next week. The homosexual agenda. And implement that so these babies can be raised in domestication of homosexuality. Agreeing with it and making a normality in life. Another form of domestication. That we got to do what? Get over. So we're going to say these things and we're going to stop. I want to say this quote from Great Gria. It says, you will never understand, y'all pay attention, you'll never understand the magnitude of how great your ancestors were until you understand the magnitude of the system that they face. And only understand this by understanding the history that was never taught. So when you look at the magnitude of this system against a powerless people, it shows you how powerful you were. Is this system powerful?
Yes.
So it shows you the magnitude of what you function in and operated in. So we operated in that type of power that Psalms 83 had. Psalms 83 had. Let's go to Psalms 83. We talked about all the power of the ancestors, everything they did. We talked about all that last week, all what was implemented, all what was given to them, all the power that Paul, Peter, and all of them walked in. But something happened in Israel that the nations came together and said, we got to do something about all this. And we're going to talk about that craftiness. Somebody get Psalms 83 and read it. And we'll stop right there.
Keep not your silence, O Elohim. Hold not your peace. Be not still, O El. For lo, your enemies make a tumult, and they that hate you have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel.
All right, so look at that. Number one, we don't even pray like the Most High got enemies. Y'all thought about that? We would not bring up enemies in our prayer. Because we've been taught to love your enemies. Y'all quiet as all know what on that. That's right. See, we even scared to deal with that. You won't find not one prayer that they prayed against just their enemies. Go check out the book of Psalms. That's a whole book of prayers and praises. So when I don't understand what, I got the wrong interpretation. It's all right to pray. Now, you got to make sure you ain't just saying everybody your enemies. But the global elite that's running these nations and doing all this type of stuff, I ain't got no righteous prayers for them. They are the enemies of the Most High. And the Most High going to deal with them. And I'm going to pray that that happens. Because he told us to. All right, y'all. Y'all must ain't tired of what y'all saying happening. For lo, thy enemies have made a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. Keep reading verse 3.
They have taken crafty counsel against your people.
So now they taking crafty counsel and did what?
And consulted against your hidden ones.
So now they got to have meetings to say, we got to do something about these people. All these nations got to come together because Israel, they tearing up everybody. 300 of them is killing 200 and some thousand of our enemies. We got to do something about it. We got to band together. And what happened?
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yahshua may be no more in remembrance.
So how did they know that they can take, y'all pay attention, how did they know that they can take the name of Israel from being remembered? Think about that now. They ain't just saying this all of a sudden, they just in their own script gonna be able to take the name of Israel from being in remembrance. What was they looking at to be able to understand we can cause something to happen that would take the name of Israel off the face of the earth? What did Israel have to do? Had to sin. They had to break what?
Break the
so the Balaam syndrome was what? He couldn't curse Israel, could
he? He can make us curse ourselves.
But he can make us do what?
Curse ourselves.
By doing what?
By forgetting Yahuwah, that was our Elohim, and breaking the covenant.
So they move into another way of operation now. Now you'll see other nations trying to seduce Israel with what? Women. Because what? They would give each other their daughters or women in their kingdom as what? Tributes to alliances. So now Solomon up, so I'm going to make an alliance with you, and I'm going to send my daughter over there on assignment. To do what? Seduce the nation of Israel. Because the nation of Israel ain't get completely dissolved until Solomon rose to power and began to follow what? Other gods. And began to do what? Cut the name of Israel what? Cut the name of Israel off. That's right. Go ahead.
But then the Most High also say that with that stumbling block, he was going to punish all of them for what they did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. You go read Deuteronomy 32. Yeah. We're going to get ahead of it. Okay. All right. They're going to get there. But what I'm trying to show you is they set up systems of intoxication or systems of seduction to get Israel to break their own covenant. Because they understood that when Israel break their covenant, that allows us to rule without having to have regard to the Most High. Because when Israel break theirs, he do what? He turned his back on that. Right. He said, you provoke me with gods that weren't gods. So I'm going to put you under a foolishness and provoke you to jealousy. So now, how is America able to obtain, even after slavery changes, a level of control over us? It starts seducing us. Now, everything we like is a breaking of the covenant. Yep. Everything within our music is adultery, fornication, everything, and they sell it to us. And we put a beat behind it and we love it, but it keeps us in captivity. Every movie, they pay you millions of dollars to be an actor in. And we call it entertainment, which is detainment for entry. It's another what? Breaking of the covenant to keep you what? The name of Israel not in remembrance. So these nations crafted together, and we're in right here. And we'll come back at this scripture. For they have consulted together with what? One consent and made a confederacy, the League of what? Nations. This is where the League of Nations or the United Union originally started at. And it didn't start off world affairs, but it started on how to keep the nation of Israel cut off and not in remembrance. So no, you would not have a seat at the United Nations. Because you can't be in behind the closed doors when they trying to record up something to keep you under. I'm not talking crazy, y'all. Did it stop right here? Or our nations still was coming together all the way up until today? So this is why it's important to understand the mentality that we got to have. So we can teach this mentality to our children. So they won't still get caught up on this domestication. That they still won't get caught up in this seduction. Where they and their children, if the Most High don't prevail or don't come, that we'll be consistently in this situation and still talking about it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Did this help you?
Yeah. Yes.
Any questions, comments, or concerns? Anything anybody want to add? Question on anything? I'm trying to home in on these things because I want you to get this inside of you. But you're hit today, but I want it in your spirit. So when you're hit with a problem that life hits you, it immediately come up in who you are. Go ahead, Mother.
It reminds me of one thing.
Give Mother the mic. Right here. Mother Ward.
It reminds me of one thing, and this is for the young people in their 20s, 30s that are coming up. You can gain the whole world. You can work and get very little sleep. And pay these high rents and high bills.
That's right.
And have no time for your Lord.
That's right.
No time for the fellowship. No time for the congregation.
That's right.
No time to pray, praise, read. No time to fellowship with your parents.
That's right.
And your grandma and your grandfather. And your nieces and your nephews. You don't gain the whole world.
That's right.
He said, if you leave mother, father, sister, brother, and yourself, wife, husband, and everything in this world,
you again? That's right. That's powerful what Mother said. Because it's important now, y'all, for us to be spending special time with each other. The days are going to get dark. Don't have them highlights of family time right now, assembly time, gathering times, doing things together while things right now are in transition. That makes sense? Anybody else got anything that they want to add? Any questions? I did that good. We ain't got no questions. Pretty sound. Hallelujah. Give the Most High a hand clap. And I want, we got two of our visitors that came in, and I want y'all to just stand up and let us know your name and who invited you and the time that you had by yourself. I want to put you on the spot. My sister here and my sister over there with the baby. Y'all come on, Rebirth, get them a hand clap. Get them a hand clap for coming and being among us. They should have a mic on.
Shalom, everyone. My name is Sharonda Dover. I'm from Augusta. Been here all my life.
Okay.
So I'm glad to be here. I had a great time, awesome time, and I will be back.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. There are more people in here awakening in Augusta, waking up and being with us. Our sister right here.
Shalom, everyone. Excuse me. I came with Sister Pam, I call her Sister Pam, which I'll call her that. She invited me. This is not my first time. This is my second time. The teaching is really enlightening. It's good. It's something that I've not just known. It's something that I've been knowing.
Hallelujah.
So it's just like I'm saying. It's something that me and my daughter study and my son. So we study it in the home, but just to come amongst the trueness, it's really